Hi, and welcome back to Walkman Phones. Today we're going to be doing a unboxing of the Sony Xperia X Compact, which I just got in the mail yesterday. Came out a couple weeks ago, and it is to sit alongside the Xperia XZ, which is Sony's new flagship. So this is Sony's continuation of the Z Compact series that they've been doing for a couple years now. They changed it up a little bit this time around. There's no waterproofing. They're not using the same high-end chipset, although this is certainly a capable chipset. This is the Snapdragon 650. They're not doing the Snapdragon 820 like the XZ has. You know, in previous years there was the same chipset to be found across the range, you know, so people said, oh, it's more of a true flagship phone, you know, just in a smaller form factor. But I've heard really good things about the Snapdragon 650, and it should be more than capable, especially, you know, powering a smaller phone, 4.6 inches for the display size, 720p screen, so it shouldn't have any problems keeping up with anything. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick look. You see it's got the little like rainbow effect when you move the box. And Sony does a good job with their packaging. You know, I've always kind of liked the simplistic packaging that they go with. So let's go ahead and, so it's got LTE. This is something I got in from the UK. I had to order that because Sony's fingerprint sensors in America are disabled by default, and I wasn't going to spend money on another Sony phone that didn't have a fingerprint scanner in it, you know, at this point. So I did that. So here we go. You see it's got the nice splashes of color on the sides of the box, you know, very artsy. So let's see. Here is the phone first and foremost. You see it's a nice what they've done here is they've gone with what they call the loop surface design, which is very old Nokia N9, you know, or the Lumia look. At least that's what it seems like to me. This is almost like their own version of it. So it's really cool to see that back. Always a very classic looking design, you know. But as you can see, everything is kind of uniform and it kind of mimics the USB-C design, you know, just on a bigger scale. So we'll put this aside for a second and see what else they gave us. Okay, that's, I'm sure this is just some like paperwork and simple stuff like that I'm not going to read. Being from the UK, came with the UK wall plug, which I will not be using unless I can find my old adapter that I used to have for the Panasonic Aluga. Maybe I can use that. But from what I've heard, this is quick charge compatible, the phone itself, but they did not send along a quick charge capable charger. So that's an interesting move. So maybe it's not even that big of a deal that I have that anyways. Let's see what else we've got here. Here we have our new to Sony phones for the fall of 2016. USB-C cord. So that's a new one. Should allow for faster charging and, you know, better data sync, you know, but you need to go get your own charger. You know, they're just giving you the cord, but it's nice to see that they have it in the mix now. You know, it's about that time. Also, Sony's giving us headphones. All right, let's see. No, these I'm just interested in real quick. I'm gonna pull these out because I always, Sony's headphones are always really interesting to me. They always do that like behind the neck, or one side is shorter than the other. Let's see if they did that again. They did. They did. Okay. I'm not really a fan of these kind of headphones. I'm not sure why. I just like to have the regular headphones hanging down, you know, not behind my neck. But it's certainly nice that they gave headphones out, you know, and give them credit for that. I don't think the last couple Sony phones that I've gotten have had any type of headphones included. So, you know, it's nice, it's capable, I'm sure. So we'll just put those on the side. Okay. Let's get back to the phone. Let's see if I can move some stuff out of the way real quick. And what I'd like to do is try to get it booted up in a relatively quick manner, not take forever. I already have my SIM card ready to go, so let's see. First of all, let's peel off the plastic. Yeah, okay, so that's the front of it. I can see. Very monolithic design, you know, which is, you know, Sony's renowned for, you know, kind of blocky, you know, rectangular phones, the hard edges. But, you know, this time around what they've done is they've kind of like really sculpted the corners to kind of make them rounded. So you're still looking at this, you know, boxy phone, but, you know, when you're holding it in your hand, it's very, it kind of just like, you know, rests in there it's supposed to. Let's see, on the side we've got our fingerprint scanner, which is awesome. Shout out to the UK models for having that, which is where this came from Sunny England. We have our shutter button and the volume up and down. I saw a lot of people were complaining about the volume up and down, or the placement of it. Now, to me, I think it kind of makes sense. Now, I know a lot of people don't make phone calls anymore, so that's not really a big deal. But when you're on the phone, you're holding your phone right about here. I'd say when you talk, it's much easier to go volume up or volume down when it's right here, rather than having to reach all the way up while you're on the phone call. So I can kind of see why they did that. I know typically you see, you know, volume buttons are usually right around here, they're up higher, but I kind of like the way Sony does it. I've never really minded it. You know, maybe it could be a little awkward if you're, you know, like this, you know, but you're not really messing with the volume on your phone like that all that much, at least when you're just, you know, checking Twitter or doing something like that, you know, it's not a big deal. So I don't mind that placement personally. Okay, let's see. Coming around to the back, we got this sticker, and take that off. All right. Yeah, in terms of being new camera wise, this is the same camera that is on the Xperia XZ, so it is a flagship level camera. It's got the let me see if I can get their Sony's marketing term correct here. 5-axis stabilization, I want to say, which is just, you know, their fancy way of saying optical image stabilization. So they'll have that. You know, so it's a new top line, you know, version of their camera. You know, I'm always at a loss when I try to talk about cameras. You know, as long as it's a nice picture when it comes out, I'm not a photographer by any stretch, but it will be nice. I will say that it'll be really nice to have a Sony phone that will be blurring less, because, you know, you typically with Sony phones, you have to be really, really careful that you're not, you know, moving the camera when you're taking your picture or anything along those lines, because it really will affect, you know, the blur when you're looking at the, you know, and that's the last thing you want with a picture. Okay, so yeah, I went with the Universe Black on this. Basically, I was thinking about doing the Mist Blue, and kind of decided that although it's a nice color and I probably wouldn't mind it, I just don't want to look at blue bezel the entire time that I have this phone. I think it would be a little overkill. So I went with the Universe Black, and as you can see, it kind of, it's a nice, you know, glossy black. But yeah, I've heard that it has hints of blue in the sunlight, so we will find that out and see how that goes. But yeah, basically, you know, the design of the phone is very similar to the XZ. And it is, you know, modeled after the X that came before it. So you have your stereo speakers, front and bottom here, you know, very nice, which is a great feature in phones, you know, honestly. After coming from phones that had, you know, one speaker and you have to do the cup thing with your hand, and that's just too much. So yeah, basically, we're going to cut this a little short. I don't want to get into taking forever to set the phone up, and you know, I have to go in and dive in with my SIM card and all that stuff. But this is just basically a quick look at the phone itself, and I'll be doing a review on it later where we'll go over all the, you know, software stuff and how the, you know, how it's been performing and all that stuff. But you know, Sony for the most part, they're steady. They don't, you know, go too crazy with trying to change things up. I expect this software experience to be pretty similar to what they have, you know, been doing before. Maybe even a little bit more stock than they have done before, which is always welcome, you know, just with the pretty little Sony flourishes that they put on top. So yeah, for now, this has been an unboxing of the Sony Xperia X Compact, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.